What is up, guys? Welcome back to the channel. Today we are going to be answering one of the questions that I had up until a couple weeks ago, which is what are the differences between the modern Converse Chuck 70 and a vintage pair of made in US Converse, and which one is the right choice for you?
All right, I had a clip where I said to subscribe, but I didn't like it, so subscribe.
Oh, right here I have two pairs of Converse. This one is the modern Chuck 70. These ones are a pair of 1960s Converse that I recently got in my last pickups video. Check it out if you haven't already. And we're gonna be looking at the similarities, the differences. I'm gonna talk a little bit about pricing and like how to get these. And yeah, just to help you make the decision which pair is gonna be better for you. All right, guys, so we are going to get into it with a side-by-side comparison. I'm gonna try to keep this quick. Side by side, I will say that in general, the Chuck 70 is going to be a little bit narrower and this one's gonna be a little bit wider. These are also a little bit longer than these ones, so do with that information what you will. The sizing on them is the same. I'm a 10.5 in these, I'm a 10.5 in these. They both fit me perfectly, but these are also based off of a different model than these. I don't have a pair of these to show you like true side by side, but I will say they are very, very similar. Obviously the Chuck 70 has a little bit of a longer toe cap. These have a little bit of a shorter toe cap, and I think, you know, like the collar here is a little bit wider on these versus on these. The soles are about the same height. I think these might be a little bit bigger. I haven't measured it out or anything. And yeah, I mean, the shape on these a little bit more flat. This is a little bit more curved. And the soles are pretty much the exact same. I will say these ones in hand are a little bit softer. These ones a little bit more rough. And they both do have a comfort insole. You can see that on the 60s pair, and on the Chuck 70 version, they do have a softer sole than just like a normal pair of Converse that you can buy for like 50 bucks that are not the Chuck 70 version. Let's see, what else? These have a glossy finish on the midsole. These do not. They have a more traditional matte finish. And as far as the quality goes, I give the edge to these, obviously. You can see it in the stitching, like there's a stitching on the tongue for that. You can see, I don't know, you might not be able to see it that well, but there's a little bit of loose ends. It's not as tight versus these. Super, super clean. Obviously, they still have like a little bit of fraying because they're 60 years old, but the stitching is way cleaner on these. And they literally have like no flaws, like literally nothing besides obviously a little bit of wear. But yeah, let's see what else. The fabric on these is way stiffer than these are. Like obviously they both hold up, but I'm trying to demonstrate this. These are like a little bit softer, a little bit more floppy, versus these are like stiffer. Yeah, it kind of comes down, I'd say between the two, it kind of comes down to your personal preference. I think these are more comfortable than these ones, and it comes down to the fact that these ones are a little bit wider, the material is a little bit softer, a little bit more forgiving versus these. And like I don't think that that is just due to the age or the wear, because like I've worn these like almost every day for a year, so they have gotten beat, versus these ones are really clean for being a 60s pair. These honestly might have less wear than those ones. Like if you want to compare like the heels, these definitely have more wear than these ones do. But yeah, long story short, these ones a little bit better quality, softer materials, a little bit of a wider fit. These ones a little bit more narrow, quality not quite as good. But yeah, besides that, both are great shoes. All right, guys, so let's now get into the question that everybody wants the answer to. Which pair of Converse should I buy? And the simple answer is that's going to depend on what you value and what you're looking for. So we're going to start with these, where you can pick these up and why you should buy these over these. So the Chuck 70 is obviously going to be way more accessible. You can find these at pretty much any like multi-brand retailer like Farfetch, Essence, etc. And these actually go on sale seasonally. So like if you want to get a different color, the seasonal colors will go on sale like every 6 months for like $40. Super accessible, super cheap option, worth every penny. I got these on sale on Nordstrom like last year for 40 bucks. So yeah, if you're just looking for a cheap pair of shoes, I would definitely go with these over the 60s version or a made in US version. But yeah, you can get every colorway of these. That is not something that can be said about the other ones. They are super accessible. If you are grossed out by wearing old shoes, definitely get these. But yeah, super accessible. I would definitely recommend these. I think retail on them is about $90, but like I said, you can find these for like under $50 pretty easily, especially if you're looking for like different colorways or seasonal pairs. Can't recommend these enough. So getting into these bad boys, why you would buy these over those. Number one is if you're a vintage collector. I'm not gonna have to explain this to you, but love collecting. Me personally, I love collecting the original version of items. So yeah, that's kind of why I bought these. Two, like I said, the quality on these is going to be a lot better than those, and they do feel better in my personal opinion. The downsides of these are obviously going to be the price. Like I said, the retail on those is about $90. These ones I got a really good price on, and I still paid like $120 for these, and they were in like pretty nasty condition when I got them. If you want to see, go on my Instagram. It is my last post, my personal Instagram I should say. But yeah, and these you're gonna have to hunt a little bit more for. So if you don't want to search for something, you just want to buy a pair of shoes, definitely buy the Chuck 70s over these. But if you like the thrill of the hunt, buy these. Yeah, besides that, it really just comes down to if you value having the original version versus a repro, if you value, you know, the quality and all that. But yeah, if you want these, you know you want these. So as far as how to get a pair of the vintage pairs, if you want them, there are a couple things you should know before buying them. One is, the rarer the colorway, the more sought after the colorway, these are going to do the opposite of the Chuck 70, where the Chuck 70 goes on sale. These ones are going to cost you a lot more if you want a good colorway, or they're going to be a lot harder to find. Like I want a Kelly green colorway, and I want like a pale yellow and like a gold yellow. You can look those up on eBay for yourself, but they cost a lot of money versus being able to find them on sale. So that's another benefit of the Chuck 70. You can get whatever you want whenever you want. But anyway, getting back to it, where you can find these. Personally, my number one recommendation for these is going to be looking at your local vintage flea markets. I've gotten 80s pairs of Converse for like 20 bucks there. I've found pairs for like 40 bucks, 60 bucks. I feel like that is the best place to find a pair of these. It is very hard to find these at the thrift. I've personally been trying to find a pair at the thrift for years, and the best I've done is I found one shoe. And that's just like any made in US Converse, not even like a 60s pair, not even like a 70s pair. Like I haven't found a full pair of any made in USA Converse. So they are definitely way harder to find than the Chuck 70. But if you go to the flea markets, usually people are selling them if they found a pair, so I feel like you increase your chances of getting them. The second option I would recommend is how I got both of my personal pairs, which is going to be eBay. Although you have to look a lot and check a lot, but you can get some steals on eBay. These were $120. Like I said earlier, that is a stupid steal, especially given the condition of the sole. One thing you should know before buying them on eBay is you need to check with the seller and like make sure 100%, get it in writing, that the sole is still flexible, that they are still wearable. Otherwise, I would not buy them, because if you buy a pair where the sole is not flexible like that, you can see, you're not going to be able to wear them, and you're just going to be throwing money down the drain. But yeah, make sure 100%, make sure to ask about that first. And like also check, like another common problem with these is the ankle right here. Like you can see, I'm trying to show you, this little pad right here, the ankle support, will get brittle over time sometimes if they're like in the wrong condition or whatever, or it'll get ripped up, the inner lining will get ripped up. Sometimes like it's glued. I'm trying to see if I can show you guys. Like the lining is glued in right here, so like sometimes the glue will rot away, and like, because this is 2 layers of fabric actually, the lining will rot away and all that. All those things you should ask about before you buy them to make sure that they're not going to fall apart, and to make sure that you're getting a good price on them. Let's see, besides, so fleas, eBay, get lucky at the thrift. There's an Instagram account I know of, Lucky Loser Vintage. He specializes in curating made in USA Converse. He usually has pairs in stock and he has some great prices. I mean, like, he's had 80s pairs that are like dead stock pretty much for like 160 bucks. Definitely check him out. I will have it linked below if you want to ask him if he has any pairs. But yeah, besides that, a little bit harder to find. But yeah, if you do the work, you can definitely find these fairly easily. All right, guys, that is going to be it for today's video. If you found this helpful, please subscribe to me. And if you're interested in buying vintage clothes, I do have my curated vintage page linked down below, as well as my website where I upload stuff pretty much every day. But yeah, throw a like on the video. It really does help. And I really do enjoy making this content. Thanks and have a great day.